Well, right now we're approaching a disaster zone with the monarch butterfly because of a combination of problems in Mexico and the United States.
Estamos en alerta roja en la temporada 2013-2014, que es justamente en la que estamos casi por concluir, pero que los números nos arrojaron 0.67 hectáreas del reporte que se produjo en enero y se hace el conteo de la colonia o la medición de la colonia durante el mes de diciembre.
Pues las cosas eran de que había mucha mariposa en las calles, los árboles llenos de mariposas. En la calle pasaba uno, en los cerros. En esas fechas bajaba mucha a tomar agua, en los ríos, no me diga, de lo mucho que había. Y ahora es una tristeza que ya no hay nada. Ya se está terminando esto.
Well, I think this is the first time we've seen such a broad group of stakeholders come together towards solutions. In the last month, something very interesting has happened. We've had a second independent confirmation that the primary cause of declines in milkweeds and monarchs is the excessive herbicide use in the Midwestern United States.
The big chemical companies make a lot of money selling agricultural chemicals, and so although they will tell you that they want to be part of the solution, at the same time they want to sell their product and make a lot of money.
Tenemos la próxima temporada que puede ser peor o igual, que es muy amenazante el pronóstico de lo que puede pasar, y ellos pues jauja, siguen usando el herbicida como si nada pasara.
Now we have to get all of the governments and all of the relevant organizations across all three countries to cooperate in the solutions. And that really requires, I think, high-level government involvement, but also corporate involvement.
Pues ahorita la moda es apuntarles a los gringos y a los canadienses, decirles, ustedes tienen el gran problema de que no están cuidando los sitios de reproducción. Y si es que perdemos el enfoque de que aquí tenemos que también cuidar siempre, independientemente de que llegue o no llegue la mariposa. O sea, estos bosques proveen de muchísimos otros servicios a muchísimas personas, y eso es lo que nos debe importar más.
And you can see here by watching these kids that come out here, they're having a really good time, catching a few butterflies, tagging them, being out here and doing something with their parents or their grandparents. And we've had people come from great distances here today. We had people come from Pennsylvania today as well as Texas, which is pretty remarkable because you know, people are attracted to this butterfly.
If we don't know where monarchs are going from Mexico to North America and where they're going from the US Midwest onwards, then it's impossible to predict what will happen in the future. That information on migration patterns is critical to be able to accurately predict future population declines in monarchs.
When we use these technologies, we can actually pinpoint where those butterflies came from. So if we capture butterflies anywhere in the breeding grounds or even in Mexico, we can look at the compounds on the wings and determine where it occurred as a caterpillar in North America.
And I heard about the great work being done by Dr. Urquhart and Mrs. Urquhart. I wrote them a letter, and they wrote me back to say, we'd like to have you part of our project. And from that day forward, I began tagging monarchs. They were found in the United States. And then in the mid-1980s, I thought, wouldn't it be really special to tag a monarch here in Ontario and have it found in Mexico? So I continued tagging, and lo and behold, one that I released here at Presqu'île Provincial Park was found in Mexico.
We don't have to wait until we no longer have a monarch in Canada and try and bring them back again. We can solve this now by creating habitat, by creating education opportunities for both teachers and students. Just creating that awareness, it is so important And the monarch does that.
The short-term threat to them is the loss of the milkweed. And there's so much we can do about that. And it's inexpensive and it's easy. The more challenging is on the long-term threat, which is climate change and global warming and those freak storms that are happening, you know, up in the mountains that can kill hundreds of millions, and that's devastating.
So I started the program that we called Monarchs in the Classroom, which is at the University of Minnesota Monarch Lab. And this is a program that tries to engage students in studying monarchs, studying their natural world.
You know, it's a very historical day here in the United States because President Obama put forth a presidential memo which basically asked all the agencies in the U.S. government who have some responsibility for the landscape to do something that will help conserve pollinators and monarch butterflies.
There's maybe about 50 to 100 million monarchs right now. And to anybody, that sounds like a lot of individuals. And they might say, oh, well, there's lots of monarchs. When in fact, the historical numbers were upwards of 1 billion.
I'm very worried about the future of the monarch butterfly. I think that what was a phenomenal migration and overwintering behavior may be reduced to the point where it's almost becomes trivial. It would be like losing beautiful treasures of art in a museum if we lose the monarch migration.
It would be a shame. It would be a shame for my grandchildren to not see a monarch butterfly. I think that would be a terrible, and I apologize, but I think that'd be a terrible thing.
Desafortunadamente los bosques no dan votos. Desafortunadamente los bosques no conocen de democracia. Desafortunadamente los bosques tampoco conocen de burocracia. Los bosques tienen necesidades en este momento que hay que atender y no tienen tampoco reloj. Su reloj biológico nos está dando señales de que tenemos que cuidar los bosques, que tenemos que cuidar los suelos para que la mariposa monarca siga regresando a estos lugares. Esa es la gran tarea que tenemos los seres humanos.